It'll kind of go over all the basics, and then that'll probably
All right, here we go.
15,
Now
20,
we are live.
maybe 30 minutes. Really detailed.
I am now currently taking part in the Alpha Strike Academy for BattleTech here at Adepticon 2026. We're going to see how things go here. This is the information sheet that they have given us, and I am going to see if I can learn how to play this. So it does definitely look like a toned-down version of the classic game, which is good because that seemed to be a bit slow when I was playing it earlier. I'm looking forward to trying this version out. Now on this, do we pay attention to heat generation like we would in the other one?
Yes, to a degree.
Okay.
We'll go over the specifics, but on the sheets you'll see a heat scale of 1, 2, 3, and S for the mechs at least. Certain things can cause you to gain heat. The most common would be the overheat value, the OV next to it. I think a lot of these mechs have 0, so it isn't going to come up often, but the Warhammer for the Capellans does.
Okay.
Generally speaking, like I said, it's not super common for it to matter in Alpha Strike, but there will probably be at least 1 or 2 instances while we're learning to play where it will.
Okay.
Basically, at each level of heat reduces your speed and makes it a little bit harder to hit.
Okay.
You get to the 4th level, you shut down.
All right.
Try to avoid that if you want to live.
Yeah, shutdown is not good. So if we do generate heat, but it is not necessarily going to affect us terribly bad. It's not as difficult to track in this as it is in the standard game. We are waiting for a few other people to get started, so they do want to start a little bit late to allow some folks to get here who may not be here already. Some miniatures that we are working with right now. If there is anybody in chat at the moment, I apologize because of the way the camera is at. I will not be able to see any chat, so I won't be able to tell you what's going on in this, but got some tanks, got some infantry, got some mechs. That is the way to do this. All right. So let's see, what values do I have here? Short range 3, medium range 4. Wait, no, long range can't be 3. Oh, that's damage at the different range. Okay, so my archer is going to be a missile boat. This would be my archer right here, so he's going to fire lots of stuff. Then I have a Phoenix Hawk here. We are ignoring specials just to keep the game moving from what our game master has told us here. These are standard battle armor, Flamer Squad 4. This is the Demolisher heavy tank, so it can do some damage. And then I've got a Galleon light tank. Let's see. Trying to see where movement is on these here. Tell me how fast these guys are, but I don't know that they're terribly fast. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the Archer moves 8 inches. The Phoenix Hawk moves 12 inches, and it's got a J behind it, which I'm assuming may mean that it can jump. We got the Demolisher heavy tank with a movement of 6 inches with a T behind it, which I assume means treaded. Same for the Galleon light tank. It's got a movement of 16 inches, so that can move. The infantry is going to be 6 inches. All these skill ratings are 4, so that's going to tell me, I guess, what I need to roll to be able to hit. Point values are on there, which really doesn't make much of a difference. So let's see.
One of you to sit on this side and one to pop on the other side, just another grass mat. Just waiting a few more minutes just in case we have some more coming in. Yep.
We're waiting a few more minutes in case we have someone else come into the event. I am very thankful to the people at Catalyst Games who are allowing me to actually stream this, as well as my opponent that is also going to allow me to stream today.
I'll admit to a classic bias, but I love both, so it's like a 9 compared to
the
10.
edit will be
still very good.
Edit will come a little bit later, and
because I like it.
You may wonder why I'm streaming all these things. It's to save space on my phone because all the videos take up a good amount of space.
You know it. If we don't get any more stragglers, I'll kind of play against you and we'll walk through it. Fingers crossed. So you my brother-in-law BAT over there, so I can just yeah. I just learned about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
One bit of good news is that I did figure out the orientation issue that I was having since the StarCraft bit. So we are learning things as we are streaming today.
Power levels and what makes sense. It's like in my mind. Yeah.
I've had a great time here at Adepticon so far. Gotten to try a bit of Mech Warrior or BattleTech. Very similar systems.
It'll ramp up quickly with the clan mechs.
Also have had the chance to catch up with some folks that I haven't gotten to catch up with in a while, so that was nice. Armada is doing some nice events today. Got to learn some stuff about Leviathan, so we're looking forward to getting back into playing that on Saturday.
But that's also kind of the good thing. If you guys end up loving it and just want to play like on a kitchen table or something, you can play a 1,000 point game. It's up to you. That's the good thing. It's not like a standard, so to speak. Yeah. In Classic, they can be a little bit complicated. In Alpha Strike, every unit is roughly the same. There are a little bit of differences we'll get into, but they're largely the same. And I don't want to make you guys wait forever, so I'll just go ahead and start, and I'll just kind of sit here and we'll work through it all together.
Okay.
No, you're good. No, you feel free to stay. I don't mind. You just might have to wait for me to answer questions and stuff. So, hi, my name's Judd. I'll be teaching you guys. Everyone should have a sheet. On this side of the table, we have green minis. We are the Capellans. That side of the table is gray. You are the Free World League. Everybody has 2 mechs, 2 vehicles, and some infantry. As I mentioned, they all play pretty much the same, but there are some small differences. We'll get into those in the movement and stuff.
Thank
you. Want me to clip it or just
if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. I don't mind at all.
The opening explanation will help out.
Absolutely. So, on the sheets themselves, or the cards, I guess is kind of a better way of phrasing it. Obviously, you have the name of the mini, and then you've got their stats. So you don't need to really worry about the type, the TP, that's, a mech, a vehicle, whatever. It should be pretty obvious when you're touching it which one it is. Size generally is only going to be relevant for physical attacks. You might end up, if you play often and want to do like objectives, some people will do stuff like the highest weight or the highest size controls the hill or takes the objective or takes the flag, that sort of thing. Otherwise, pretty much only relevant for physical attacks. TMM is basically your defense. As long as you move at least 1 inch on the battlefield, you get that defensive bonus. It's a target movement modifier. So if you have the Warhammer up on this hill and you move him over to this side of the hill, definitely more than 1 inch, you get a TMM of 1. You just take a die, put a 1 right next to him. When we go to shoot the Warhammer and we go through our calculations, he'll have a 1 for his defense. Everyone should have tons of dice. If you don't, please let me know. I'll get some for you guys. Generally speaking, movement for Alpha Strike is pretty simple. A red die would be if you jumped. Not everybody can. Both teams, so to speak, both factions have 1 mech that can jump. For the Free Worlds League, it's the Phoenix Hawk. For the Capellans, it's the Blackjack. If you jump, you can ignore stuff like the woods, jumping over the hill, that sort of thing. You use the red die to indicate you jumped. Why that matters is because it's a great mobility tool, but it makes it harder for you to shoot your target because your mech is literally hurling through the air pretty quickly. It's hard to keep it on target, so to speak. So when you jump, your TMM might normally be a 1 or a 2. If you jump, you get a +1. You're very mobile, it's harder to hit you, but harder for you to shoot back. Movement is in inches in Alpha Strike, pretty straightforward. Everyone should have a tape measure next to them. If you don't, again, let me know. And then basically, it's just straight from the base. So if I'm moving 8 inches for the Blackjack, I see the 8 and I move him right there. Don't, go over it, just regular 8 inches, nothing crazy. Don't overthink it. Woods are, think rough terrain in like a tabletop role-playing game or something like that. It's just double movement. So if you have 4 inches and you're trying to go through this giant woods, really you can only move 2 inches. Moving out of it, as long as, if this is less than 1 inch, then, you can move the inch, you're fine. But if you've got at least 1 inch, you got to go 2 to get there. There is water on each of the maps. Infantry cannot enter water, and non-hover vehicles cannot enter. How you know it's a hover is next to that movement inches, it'll say an H. So like the Blackjack or the Phoenix Hawk has a J for jump. The Manticore for the Capellans or the Demolisher for the Free Worlds League has a T. They're tracked. They have treads. They can't go in the water. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about what the T means. The Maxim for the Capellans has hover. They can go over the water tiles or water features. The Galleon, I believe, is wheeled. That should have a W. It might have a T. I honestly don't remember.
These both have T's on
T. So same thing. The Galleon is fast. It's small, but it can't enter the water. Mechs can, but it slows them down just like the woods do. But it also gives them cover because part of their waist under water. So it's hard to shoot at them. Yes.
So this was 8 inches long. If you just jump.
Absolutely. That's the good part about jump jets. They can go straight over or into woods or out of woods, past the hill. If there were buildings, like on some of these maps, you can see jump jets. As long as you have the inches to clear it vertically, you can go the inches horizontally. Which is the same. If you ever play Classic, it's the same way. If you have 12 jump, you can jump up 12 levels. 5 jump, you can't go past that level 6 hill, even though it's only 1 away from you. It's just too tall. Same thing, just with inches. If you're trying to climb up the hill, it's 2 inches per elevation inch. These are very simple. They're all 1 inch. So 2 inches up, 1 inch forward, 2 inches up, 1 inch forward. So if you're starting here, it'd be 3, 6 to get on top of this hill.
Now, is that for only mechs, or can
for the
tanks
mechs? Good question. The tanks can do it, but it is and the infantry, but it is more difficult. It is 4 inches for them.
But if the infantry has jump,
But the infantry has jump
Okay.
jets. They can jump straight on top of the hill.
Okay.
And that should be for both of the infantry. They should both be just Intersphere standard battle armor. They both can jump. So when it comes to actually playing the game, it's pretty simple. Everybody will have a pair of dice that you roll for initiative. Whoever loses goes first. That always kind of trips up people that have never played before. It's because whoever loses goes first. The winner gets the maximum information before they make their move.
Now, do you move all pieces or one piece, then the opponent
You
moves one
alternate
piece?
movement,
Okay.
and if later in the game, say I've lost a couple of my guys and I only have 3, but you still have all 5,
Yeah.
you will end up moving 2 at a time at some point in that procedure.
Yeah.
Again, depends on who won or who lost initiative. Whoever wins always goes last. So if I only have 1 mech and you have all 5 of your guys, but I win initiative, all 5 have to move. Then I get to move. Once you roll initiative, you do your movements. And like I said, it's back and forth. Whoever loses goes first. You move 1 thing. Then the other person moves 1 thing back and forth until you're all done. When you move, put that die next to it, indicating your TMM. So the blackjack normally has a 1. So if I just ran him up here, he'd have a 1. If I decided, well, he doesn't have long range, I want to get him closer before I start shooting, I don't care about the accuracy. Let's jump so that I get the +1. Use the red die and give him a 2 instead of a 1. Or for the Phoenix Hawk, a 3 instead of a 2. That sort of thing. So you'll move them on the board, adding their TMM dice as appropriate back and forth. Once we get to the shooting phase, whoever lost goes first again, but this time you shoot everything. Why that matters is because if I'm shooting everything at your archer, and I hit him, I killed him, and I still have this guy left over, I can pick to shoot somebody else. On your side of the table, if you had an overheat damage, for example, or maybe someone that had 2 targets and you weren't sure who to shoot at, but you know that your archer just got killed, now you can plan accordingly. We'll go over overheat for the actual shooting for the Capellan side because we're the only ones that have it.
So in your example there with the archer,
Yeah.
does the archer get to shoot in the shooting phase?
Yes.
Or just destroy?
Damage is all simultaneous, even though we're going first or they're going first, whatever. All the damage happens at once, which also means any critical hits don't apply until the next turn. Stuff like a weapon hit or a movement hit, stuff like that.
Does it matter if they move? Like, so if we rolled, I'm going to go first.
Yep.
I start moving my guys onto the board. Is it from my edge?
From the edge,
So I can see it and
again, kind of depends on if you do like a mission or an objective type game later. Some of them might say you have like a deployment zone and you start there and then move.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you're just having a regular, plain game, you just move on from that edge. Line of sight is just true line of sight. If I'm trying to shoot at this blackjack and I'm the Warhammer, I'll have to see, well, I can see a good bit of you, but not all of you. Well, you've got cover, which is just a +1 to hit. Shooting through woods is the same thing. If I'm trying to shoot at this blackjack, I'm shooting through these woods, I've got a +1 to hit. 6 inches of woods consecutively blocks line of sight. You just can't see, there's just too much in the way. So if he's here and he's here, there might not be 6 inches this way, but if I move him a little bit more, now, even though it's 2 different patches of woods, if they total 6, we can't see. And then after the loser shoots all their shots, the winner shoots all their shots, and then you wipe the dice off and move on, starting with the initiative and moving again. Like I said, the core gameplay is pretty simple. Like anything with any kind of BattleTech gameplay, the complicated stuff is like the charts. So critical hits and stuff like that. Your weapon damages, they have a short, medium, and long profile on there. And then you'll see next to SML, they have modifiers. Shooting at short range, there's no penalty. It's very easy. You're right in front of me. Shooting at medium range, you have a +2 to hit. Shooting at long range, you have a +4 to hit. Now, it does not matter what gun they have. Like in lore, they just have a damage value of short, medium, long, and that's always the same in terms of inches. Short range is up to 6, medium is up to 24, and long is up to 42. You will be tempted to think that it's 48. It's not. It's 42. And then otherwise, you roll to hit when it's your turn to shoot, adding up all those modifiers. If you hit, you do that much damage. The opponent marks off that many little bubbles, and you move on. Where that might cause those critical hits I talked about, say I need a 10 to hit, and hey, I rolled a 6, I missed. I roll a 10 or an 11, I hit, great, I do the damage. If I got really lucky and I got a 12, I still hit, and it's a critical hit. On this purple table on your side, and somewhere there should be a purple table. I think it might be on... Someone has it over here, I hope. Oh, right there. There's a table to see, well, what critical hit was it? It could be a weapon hit, reducing the damage you do on future turns. Could be movement. Could be catastrophic, and they just hit you in the cockpit and kill the mech warrior instantly. Rare, but it can happen. So just to kind of go through a very simple taking a turn, I move the Warhammer so many inches, the blackjack from my opponent moves so many inches, I need to roll to hit. Well, the blackjack, let's say he jumped, so he got that +1. You start, and everyone should have one of these too, these little calculator helper thingies. Don't know what to call them, bookmarks. But you start with your skill. Everyone is skill 4, so that part's easy for you. If you get into the game, like you said you really wanted to play, you can play with those point values, making the point values cheaper by having worse pilots, like a skill 5 or 6, or make it more expensive with a much deadlier pilot, a 3 or a 2. So you start with that base of 4, and you move down the line. The attacker would be, did you move, did you jump, or did you stand still? If you just regular ran, there's no penalty, there's no bonus. If I stood still instead, I have a -1, which is a good thing. You want to be as low as possible. If you jumped, you have a +2. So jumping is pretty rough on your accuracy, but in most cases it's probably worth it. If you're in a position where you need to jump, you're probably glad you did. So for this example, the Warhammer has a 4. My target, or I guess going down the sheet, my attacker is 0 because I didn't do anything weird. I didn't stand still and I didn't jump. My target is the blackjack, who has a 2, so I'm at a 6 so far. Other would be stuff like woods, like if this was over here, for example, it'd be a +1, but we'll say it's 0. And then range. Well, it looks more than 6 inches to me, and it is. So that'd be medium range, which is another +2. So I'd go from a 4 to a 6 to an 8. I rolled a hit. I got a 7. Done. If I had hit, got a 9, for example, I look at the Warhammer's medium damage, and it's 2. I do 2 damage to the blackjack's armor. Always start with armor first. If it goes past the armor and into the structure, the darker pips, that is also a critical hit chance, even if you didn't roll a 12. Because at this point, you're going past the armor, and you're hitting wires, structure, components, that sort of thing, which is deadly. So if everyone kind of gets the basics, we can start with initiative rolls and kind of slowly go through it all together. So you'll take 2d6 and roll an initiative.
All right.
And you already had, right? Or not yet?
No.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and take that from
Yes,
you now.
absolutely.
So that we don't have cross chatter there. Thank you.
Here you go. So in this case, I got a 10 and you got a 4.
Okay.
You got a 6.
So I got an 8. And you got a 12, so you got initiative, which means
So
I have to move first.
Yep. You got a 12. So you won. So far, Capellans are doing great.
Okay.
And then over here, who won initiative? Okay, Capellans won initiative the first turn. Makes this very easy to teach.
All right.
All of you guys have to do the first move.
Okay.
So you pick one unit, move them on whatever number of inches you want. You don't have to do the
One
full
unit.
amount if you don't want to. If you don't move at least 1 inch, you don't get that target modifier. So if
Okay.
you're here and stand still, great, you get a bonus.
Now,
Accuracy.
do you mark?
Here and just shift a little, bad.
Do you
don't
mark?
get a bonus.
Do you mark movement from the front of the unit or the back of the unit?
As long as you are consistent and playing the same way as each other, it does not matter technically.
Okay.
However, I always personally go from the back of the hex to the back of the hex, or the front of the hex to the front of the hex.
Okay.
So if I'm moving 8 inches, I'll put the 8 at the front of the Warhammer and just move it to the edge of the table,
Okay.
for example.
Yeah. All right. Got it. Okay.
Kind of beyond the rules, but just like kind of a general strategy tip. Something that's low value, like the infantry, or slower, like the archer or the warhammer, are good choices to move first because they're not as maneuverable or not as important to the grand scheme, depending on which one. Something that's fast or maneuverable, like the Maxim can move 16, very speedy, probably save it near the end, so you might be able to sneak in behind somebody, for example. Or for the Phoenix Hawk, jump behind somebody. So I'll do kind of the same thing. And just I'll actually move 6 inches and then 7, 8.
Then there. All right.
So I'll put a 1 that's his TMM, but because he's in those woods, you have another +1 cover.
Okay. So next up.
And then after you move the unit, just grab a die and put their target number next to it. So the battle armor is normally a 1, but presumably will jump into there. So then you use a red die just to remember that I jumped and so that +1. Exactly.
All right. So now I'm moving my Phoenix Hawk.
Should be doing.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Don't forget to put the die down after you move the unit.
Yeah,
if
yes.
They jumped, use red. It doesn't matter really if you want to grab those.
Well, I just don't have any white dice, so I guess I'll use black for white.
That's good.
Let's see. Okay, so
We've got lots to spare, so don't worry about
they
it.
moved.
Back to me for this turn.
They moved. Okay.
I'll move him the 8. The Warhammer was about to. Let's move him up a little bit further.
Actually, I think I have to move the next piece now because
I got 2.
I've got 2, but I had to move first because I had lost initiative. So, yeah.
Just a bit. Thought it was me.
Let's see.
And then if you finish moving, just wait for everybody and I'll go through everything again.
Okay. I don't know that I want to do that.
Yes.
I think we're going to go there. Okay.
I'll try and do a sneaky. I'll jump the blackjack into those woods.
Yeah. That was just a move, not a jump, so I'm
So I can move 4 here, and then as I move 5, 6, 7, 8. So
Oh wait, yeah, I messed up there on my movement. I've got to adjust that. Yeah, but it can't jump that far. Okay, hold on.
yeah, we can.
Oh, you can't?
Because he has a 12 and then a J after it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
All right then.
we'll swap it out with a red die, and then it's +1 than it normally is.
Yeah, sir.
So whatever his TMM normally is, I think it's a 2.
Yes, so it becomes
would be
a 3.
2, but he jumped, so it's actually a 3.
Okay. Gotcha. I have the wrong numbers on here then. Okay. All right. Move you out to here because you can comfortably get to there. All right.
See, also, this is for like.
1, 2, 6 inches, 3 inches.
Okay. Oh, and his TMM is actually 3. So, gotta get the right numbers on there. I'm not sure that we are going to have any firing going on because I think we're a bit too far away, but I may be wrong. Waiting for a little bit of instruction on this, and okay. Oh, wait, no. I see. You do actually have longer ranges than I thought here. So just to show you there, we've got ranges here to explain how far it is that I can shoot. All right.
Your Phoenix Hawk and your Galleon should have a higher number. Whatever their TMM is.
Having said that, though, up to 24 inches. So odds are the tank and the infantry will not get to fire. This tank will probably not get to fire simply because it has no line of fire, and this may get a shot with some obstruction. We will have to see on that because it does actually have the ability to shoot from long range. Not very accurate from long range, but
Is it basically like you would
It's low to the ground.
Okay,
so you can go over the water, but you can't go into the trees at all.
Gotcha.
With the hover.
And for the cost here.
You can, but it's very expensive cost movement-wise.
So it's not a big jump.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. So yeah, that movement cost is
Yeah, and it'll also be here too. So it's 2 inches for a message to go up in it.
there is the movement cost table here.
So that has the same, even though it's a hover, it has the same.
As it's still a ground vehicle, even though it's technically not on the ground.
So the hover is cool, but not that beneficial.
It's just very fast. That's kind of their archetype. They're the ambushers of the vehicles.
Got it. Did you paint all these videos?
No, I did not. It's pretty incredible that whoever did all the same scheme this many times without losing their mind.
Yeah.
Now, if you're wondering why we're not firing yet, we're just waiting for everybody to have done their moves here so that we're all on the same page. We've got a total of 4 games going on at once, just to let you guys know. All right.
So now we're ready to shoot. Again, made very simple because that whole side of the table lost initiative.
Yes.
All of you will shoot first. You can do it in whatever order you want, against whatever order you want. And you can, decide, well, I'm probably going to shoot everything at this guy and then kill him. You're not stuck to that. You can change your mind with the later stuff. So you'll pick whoever's, you're shooting at first.
So first I'm going to start with the archer.
And then go through.
And the archer is going to target there.
So first target. Is that going through, for example?
I don't think it's going to go through 6 inches of woods. Yeah.
If you wanted to shoot somebody.
Let's see here.
So because there's not
skill
woods right here.
Skill starts off at 4.
3, 4. So
the attacker.
+1 to hit because you're shooting through the woods. But that's it. So you'd start with
Movement modifier is 0.
The Phoenix Hawk did not jump.
The TMM of your guy is 1. Right, I'm just going through this first. The other would be the woods, so it would be a +1 there. So that's +2 total.
Over 6.
And then the range is probably going to be +4, but we are going to find out. That's within 24 inches, which is within 24 inches is going to be medium. So +2. So +4 total. I've got a skill of 4, so I need an 8 or better to hit.
We don't shoot at all.
And a 2 is not a hit.
We have to back and
Is
forth
there-
with it, but shooting, it's all loser, all winner.
Is there a critical fail?
There's not a critical fail.
Okay, good, because I rolled.
Due to signify that you've shot with something. Remember, or is there like a?
Some people just remember. Some people do like a little check mark or something next to the sheet.
But nothing with it does.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You could if you wanted to, or like set a marker or something.
Yeah,
But
not like this.
So the Phoenix Hawk is going to shoot here because I think there is 6 inches of woods between. It's going to be at medium range, okay, but skill is 4, attack is
stand still, so 0. Target is a 1.
attack is 3 because, or no, attack is 1 because of the jump.
Medium range.
So I have to. That brings it up to 5.
+2 to shoot.
+2 to shoot from jumping.
Over
Your
6
modifier
inches,
dice?
less than 24 inches.
Oh, I say it.
It's down here in the A section.
Yeah.
And you,
Okay, +2 to shoot. Okay. All right. So that brings it up to 6. Range is another 4, so that brings it up to 10. And so 11 or better.
Yeah.
Probably will miss, but you know, it's was worth a shot.
Right.
So that is a miss, and nothing else
No, they don't have
has either line of fire or range to shoot because these two their
stuff like that.
their damage value at long range is 0. So, and I am sure that you are beyond 24 inches from them.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, 'cause my hunter has at least one.
Yeah.
It's like worth a shot.
Do you mind if I give you a mic?
You have a +2 to hit.
I'm good.
You're shooting at her.
So now I shoot.
Sorry.
Now you shoot.
Skill
Skill 4. Attacker 0.
Let's return
Target
that fire.
2.
My blackjack is
Other would be the woods.
fire right
7.
Okay.
Range is long.
Starting with 4.
+4.
Yep.
You got 11. 11 or 12 and a 12.
Yeah, we are already medium range.
Yeah, medium range.
Hey,
4.
you hit. So you
5
look at the long range damage is 3.
medium.
You slice off
So
the
it's
first
2.
3
So it's 6.
And
You recover. I'm sorry. So 6 and.
I've got +1 to the TMM. So it's 3 on the yeah. TMM is 3 because the +1 for the jumping, and then my base TMM is 2.
Oh, okay. So then, this should be right off. So
0. 5, 6,
9, and then 1 for my
range
shot.
8,
So
9.
10. So it's also a very like hard shot.
Yeah. All right.
Did not get
And
it.
then those two have
Okay.
shots, so then you're done.
So-
It goes to my shots.
Okay.
So I will
definitely
try and shoot that.
Yeah.
So I'm 4.
Although this guy shot him, so you can probably shoot him
Yeah, I'm gonna try that again.
because that is medium range. Yeah.
Definitely not.
Plus, okay, let me go.
And I think I actually can't see him with this
5, 7.
So we'll try the Phoenix Hawk with these guys.
Yep. 8.
8.
Okay, he does
And so range.
4, 0,
So 10.
5, 6, 7.
No, long range is +4, so it's a 12.
Yeah, that'll be the
I got a
exact
roll box
same
card.
for him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did not get that.
Okay.
So both guys have shot.
Yeah. So then
Yeah, are your TMMs base 1 on all of those?
It's 1, 1, 1.
Okay.
For him.
Okay.
And 1. I think it's just a different color.
Yeah, I just had a better defensive shot, and I was kind of wondering why.
Yeah. So the movement that's a shot. He has no view of anything. This man has a shot at that guy. I think it's also going to be a very difficult shot.
Who's got a shot?
The Manticore Heavy Tank? I mean, confirm if you want to, but. Oh, wait, I have to see at least a third of it? No, there's no way to see a third of it.
Attack is how did you move?
Yeah, okay.
You just
I wasn't range, but yeah.
I don't think I have line of sight.
Okay.
It says you have to see a third of it, so.
Okay, yeah, the hill kind of blocks the, yeah.
So these guys plus 2 do have a. No, they have
Minus
0,
one
so
if
there's
you
no
stood
reason.
still.
So,
Okay.
so don't shoot it.
TMN
All right.
And no damage.
Okay.
Plus
So then,
I don't know if he wants us to stop before. There may be a.
yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah. So I'm shooting for yes, because you're shooting through those. You would not.
All right. Where is the sequence of turns? Okay, yeah, combat and then end. Okay, so we would be in the end phase, which I do know we'll pick up the dice at the end phase and start the process over.
Sorry. Looks like you can see it's about thirds.
He was
If
sleeping.
you can see 2/3 or more, there's no cover at all. If a little bit over a third is covered up, they have cover. If a lot of them is covered up, you can't see them. If nothing, plus 1.
All right.
But you need to see at least a third to be able to target.
To shoot them at all, you need at least a third. And if you can see over 2/3, there's no cover.
Gotcha. Okay.
So basically, full cover, no cover.
Yeah.
And did you want us to hold up or is it?
Nope. If you guys are good, they'll wipe the dice and try and start the next round.
Okay.
Something else at the end of the
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. If there was no heat effects or
damage,
critical
nothing.
effects or anything going
Nope.
on.
We just pick up the dice and we move forward and we roll initiative.
I will move my
8. Okay, we'll re-roll initiative. 6. Okay.
All right.
So you've got to move first.
And then if you guys shot everything so far, it's on you.
Yeah, these guys are just gonna move. They do have to jump.
Yep.
And but it's move 6, so that's not pretty exciting.
TJ4 actually. It's actually the good one.
They have jumped. Their TMM is 1, so that moves them to 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like
So they are going to move there. And they just did a move. They did not jump. All right.
Yeah, and then next one is like 10. Move 8.
You jumped. Plus 2. That's here too. You have to do this. So you jump.
Okay.
Plus 2. But you get plus 1 here.
All right. My Demolisher tank has a movement of 6.
7, 8. 9 for the woods.
You're going to go to there. That is just a normal movement. Okay.
All right. So my Warhammer is going to move.
When you see the Phoenix Hawk, is the
I have to spend 2 to get out of this.
Right.
So that's only 1, 2 to there, and then
unless you wanted this,
so 7 left.
if you wanted to pretend that those aren't there, since you weren't there, it's okay.
There. And
Sorry.
just a normal move. This is just my normal skill one, which is 1.
Okay.
I'll move it up.
All right.
Let me rethink that plan.
Let's see. He is just going to move an inch to there so that he gets his bonus. But
There with a jump.
okay.
He would have fun areas, but and it's same as so that's going to be 2.
Okay. I will be bold and I will stand still with.
All right.
So I have nothing for you shooting at me. but I will have a -1. So
Let's
I'll use
see.
a 6 to say that. -1 to shoot.
All right, he's got to spend 4 to get out. And then he's still got 8 movement left. So we're going to go to there. And that was just a normal move.
Judgment call. If you think you can see at least a third of them.
TMM2 there.
Into there. Actually, I'm just going to go all the way. Oh, that's 11. And I can hover, I can just stay over water, right?
I believe so. I think that's what the way hover works.
Real quick, I can end the movement with hover over water,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Excellent.
Because in effect, you're not stopping there. You're straight past it.
Alright, so I'm doing this to there. And
Okay.
this is a normal move.
All right.
And back to you.
And then for mine, I'm going to do a normal move there around that corner.
7 inches to here. And
All right.
okay, now just shooting.
Yep. And you shoot first.
Yep. I'm going to be focusing on this.
Right in front of you.
Actually, wait, maybe you're 10. So I can at least be in short range.
So we have finished movement, so we can do shooting.
Well, okay.
I mean, you can change your mind after each shot.
I'm
So,
just
you
trying
know,
to figure out like
what your priority is.
Yeah. I'm gonna focus on this.
Okay.
So this guy, the cover tank is gonna shoot on him,
Okay.
and I believe it is
Probably
outside of
short
6.
range.
I think it's outside of 6, but
Oh, 6 to 24.
no,
Okay.
it's unfortunately outside of 6.
Yeah, we are just barely outside of 6.
Okay, so starting with that one, 4 for the skill, attack is 1.
Yeah. That was just to say I have movement.
TMM
It's 2.
is 7, and range is 2, so I'm at 9.
9.
Okay, I gotta get a 9 on this to do something.
Okay.
Got it.
Just missed. Okay.
This guy's gonna take a shot at him.
Uh-huh.
So if you're shooting at him, it's 0.
So it's gonna be 4.
Yep.
6. 8.
Plus 2, so you have a 4,
And it's
5, 6,
It's
7.
7. It's 7.
Yeah, it's definitely medium range.
Medium range.
Whatever that is, dude.
So wait, let me do 4, 6, 8. Range of 2.
10. Mhm.
How was that last one? Okay, yeah, well, never mind. So 10. This is one more, so yeah, it's fine. 10. Oh,
That'll do it.
all right, 11 hits.
All right.
So, and this is my medium attack, so
So it'd be a
it
4.
does 4.
Jump
sorry,
though this
3
time, so
damage.
it's plus
3 damage. Okay.
5, 6, 0, 7 because he's in those woods.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
And now this guy is going to make an attack.
Uh-huh.
It seems like you would get covered for that. It's supposed to be really 2/3 of cover. You get 5, 6.
Yeah, I would get cover.
Yeah, that's okay. All right.
He's in short
And I think
range.
this is also. I think this is with,
Medium.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, we're not even. Okay, yeah, we're not even close. Okay, same thing. 4, 5, 3, 7. Cover,
8 for cover.
and then
10 at range. Okay.
There's a miss.
All right. I don't think anything else has shots. Okay. So we'll go ahead and start here. That is very, very close. I don't know how we call that.
I don't give a shit, so go ahead and just make it short.
Okay. Short.
Damage will start hitting his own.
Okay. So skill is 4.
Yeah, structure.
Attack is 1.
Nothing here.
Oh, no, attack is 0 because the
My
move.
tank will try and shoot your, or my heavy tank will try and shoot your heavy. Yeah, that's it. 4.
Right, this is my defense. This is what you add to your roll.
Okay.
I think you may have been cheating
I
yourself.
was cheating myself. Yeah.
Yeah, now that I'm doing the math myself, I think you cheated yourself. I don't know that it mattered on any of the rolls that you had.
He does. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's like just forward aim. It was like,
All right, so
what is this TNM value now?
TMM value is what your
The die.
Right, so his TNM value right now, and he's shooting him. So
no. So
So he's only needing a 1.
right,
So his skill is 4.
right. No,
He's-
he's shooting him.
Yep, his skill is 4.
Yeah.
His attacker is how did he move? He just did a regular move.
So 0,
The
yeah.
color of the die is what.
Color of the die. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
stirring that up.
Okay. So 4 plus 1 is 5. There's no cover on that.
With the black
And then range is medium, so 2 more. So I need a 7 or better.
7, 8. So it sounds like we're definitely short range, but you definitely have cover.
Say 7.
9.
short.
No.
Oh yeah, it was. If it's okay, yeah, short. I'm sorry, I was adding
4,
range as if it was medium, but it's still only 1 damage.
4, 5.
Okay, 1
6,
damage.
7.
Yeah. Got 1 damage there.
Got it. He does.
All right.
Sorry, 2 damage, but medium.
Next, you are within medium of the infantry. We'll go ahead and do the infantry.
This guy.
So skill is 4 plus 1 for, well, plus 0 for the attack because I just moved. Plus 1 for TMM, so that's 5. No cover, so still 5. Range is plus 2, so I need a 7 to hit. But it doesn't matter because at medium range I do 0 damage with the infantry, so never mind. All right, next up we'll go ahead and do the Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk is in medium again. Did a move, so there's 0 with that. Skill is 4, attack is 0, TMM is 1, which makes it 5. We did say we had cover, so that makes it 6. Range plus 2 makes it 8 or better.
You can do a full
All right.
180 if you want. What that
4 is not an 8 or better.
is where you can see.
So next we'll go with the Galleon light tank, or not the Galleon, it's the Demolisher heavy tank, which is medium.
And then the back flat line,
Base
that's where
4,
you can see forward.
still 4 with the attack, 5 with the TMM, 0 for cover.
This.
So 7 or better to
Your
hit.
damage, they need to be in this code.
Got it.
8 will hit, and the damage on that is 4.
That counts 2, 3.
I am out of armor, so the next hit's going into structure.
Okay.
So since you took structure damage,
I know
He hasn't taken it yet.
It was all gone, but it will be next.
the next damage is
Yeah. Yeah, that's coming from the archer,
Wait, I thought the archer already shot.
which is. No, I shot with the Phoenix,
Oh, gotcha.
not the archer. Okay. So again, base 4, 0 attack, 1, so it makes that 5. 0 for other, and range is 2, so again a 7. 7 is what I got.
Now,
And damage is 4 from medium.
okay,
so
so
you take 4 structure damage.
these are already like further, right?
They should be gray, but they shouldn't have been penciled in.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
They should be a darker gray.
Gotcha.
But if you just like a line or something.
I just didn't know if that meant something.
No, that's just how they do it.
And
So even though it was 4 structured hits,
yeah.
it was only 1 attack. So he only gets 1 critical hit roll.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And then
So you roll 2d6.
So I roll 2d6 for a critical hit roll,
And it's on that chart.
and it's a 4.
it's
that one right there.
Ah, here we
So
go.
you look at the left side column there where it says mech.
Mech, fire control hit.
So you double in the fire control critical hit.
Just one.
Just 1. And then on the next turn's shooting forward, you have a +2 to hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So he hit like a sensor or something.
All right. So with that, we have to pull up the dice and roll for initiative.
So you'll need to.
All right. 7. All right. So I have to move first. How do I want to do this? Okay.
So you have to go up the steps, so to speak. And he can't enter the woods because he's on this one. So you have to come around.
We're going to go 6 to there. That was a move. All right.
All right. These guys, actually, this tank is just going to move. It's a heavy tank. It moves 8. I'm just going to move. Sort of scoop around here. To there.
Okay.
And it is going to pivot to that.
All right.
Okay. And back here. I will.
Okay.
Assuming they have 6 of these.
Let's see.
This guy will
How do I want to do this? His movement is 6. Go to there. That's just a regular move. All right.
These guys are going to jump. Good jump. And they're going to move to here.
Okay.
Where's that? And they've jumped. So that is going to be good. And their TMM is 1, so it's
Okay. Alrighty then.
I would go here. So these guys, it looks like they might be behind this line. I can't quite tell from
It's
here, to be honest.
movement.
But they're not
Movement
here.
of
This
8.
cone. So they're not right. So I'm not shooting at them either way, but maybe they were.
Moving him to there. That's just normal movement.
I'm going to move him next. And he's going to move, his movement is 8, so he's going to move to 2 to there.
Okay.
And then next, it costs 2, so it's basically 5 to get to there.
Okay.
Total.
Okay, so then you get minus 3.
5 to get to
0,
there.
then we'd have a minus 3.
Basically, I'm not going to use all my movement, but I'm going to get to this.
Right.
Here.
If you want,
Okay.
it's like a 6. Because you're not going to get a
Okay.
6 TMM.
All right.
Yeah, just to remember, I've already moved that guy.
In that case,
Yeah, sorry. The downside of trying to play anti.
he's going to just move there.
Sorry? Similar playing face. Yes.
All right.
Right, he can't because
This is going to be
that is correct.
his line of sight. He has jump jets and he can move 8. So I can move.
Nope. It's true line of sight, so you can bend over and see.
And
You can see almost the entire thing. So
Okay.
no TMM 1.
tank to the
By the way,
so
I think I faced my infantry incorrectly because they were the direction they were coming. They should be facing like that.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get a +1 damage? Yeah, if you hit, it deals an additional damage. That's why really fast here. Yeah.
Go there. Oh, that's a 2. And that's a 3. Okay.
Can't go this way.
And I got 16 movement with this
Yeah.
guy. Plenty to spare.
Yeah, he gets where he wants to go.
Just trying to unload into the back.
Okay. All right. So shoots. Let's see. First, we're gonna shoot there. So
Oh, it's a Y. And this is to my Warhammer. Okay.
yeah. Wait, no, this is the one that jumped, right? This is the one damaged one, correct?
No, this one here.
Okay, he is the one. Okay, yeah, that is the one that I want to shoot.
That's
Okay,
the main guy.
yeah. Okay, so skill is 4. Attack I just moved, so 0. TMM is 1, so that brings it up to 5. Other, you don't have cover, you're just elevated. So range is close, so there's nothing there. I need a 5 or better to hit.
Yeah, it's not go into the structure, so there's no extra.
Wow. Okay.
So you roll 2d6.
So next up, infantry. Infantry is within 6. Skill of 4. Movement gives me 0 to the attack, so that's 4 still. TMM is 1, is 5. Nothing for other. Range is 0, so 5 or better.
Roll the dice.
Okay. So now we will go ahead and go with the Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk is within close. This one. Yeah, no, this is the Archer, this is the Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk has jump jets. These two.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It's the same numbers there, so 5 or better. Finally, I hit there. And at close range, it is 3 damage.
6. No, 1, 2. Infantry don't have that, and I forget that every time. They don't have the attacker modifier.
I'm pretty sure if I take all the structure, you're dead.
4, 5, 6, which means they also don't. Yes.
If you're out of structure, you explode.
You are dead.
Do I explode?
No.
Okay.
That would be way cool.
But he stays on there until you have a chance to shoot. We'll do that. We take it off in the end phase. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Your engine was super critical.
All right.
Yes, I lost it. Yeah.
So now my tank on your tank, it is short range. Base 4, 5 because of that. Nothing on other. Range is short, so it's a 5 or better for my tank to shoot your tank.
It's impressive.
Yeah, and the last shot is coming from him, and it is still within short range, so same shot. 5 or better to hit. That'll hit. Yeah, on the tank, and that is 3 damage. Short range is worse than medium range for damage. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a crew, the guy in the back there.
Little guy, okay.
Yep.
All right, he's shooting the Archer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 4, no modifier. 4, no modifier that. 1 for the movements of 5. I think 5.
Yeah, I think 5 is what you're after.
Unit's crew is killed. The unit is destroyed.
It's the table.
So
Okay, so let's move
this
this.
turn. But then
Okay.
he's taking
I did jump, so this will add 2 to my shot.
Vehicle
Okay.
might still exist in that space anymore.
6,
Dudes inside are
7. Yep. Okay, but that'll do it.
And that's going to be 3 damage.
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6.
All right.
This guy is dead, but he is still going to take his shot. I think
Okay.
weird. That's short, right? We determined that.
I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, no, because he shot there. We haven't, but it is short range. We hadn't checked it, but yes.
So 4, 5. Wait, yeah, 4.
5 because of my die. Yeah.
Don't like
Yes,
if I die.
Uh-huh.
I would advise not using it.
Okay.
And so that's going to be 3 damage.
All right.
What I prefer and what we do locally
All right.
with the Omaha area
I'll take a shot at him. I think this is.
So if you-
Yeah, it's short. That one we did check because I shot the tank.
So,
And then, okay, let's see.
4. Oh, just barely made it.
Okay.
And that is 4 damage.